I met him, I tried ecstasy, and from that point, we were never apart again.
How old was she then?
I was 18 years old.
Yeah, doing the typical 18-year-old.
Yeah. My dad was not around very much. Him and my mother somewhat came to agreement when I was around 6 months old that he wasn't quite ready to be a father.
Was he also a drug addict?
Oh, he still is. Until we were removed and put into a hellhole of a place. A dude who sells ecstasy. You're so talented, you're skilled, you're intelligent, you're bright, you're charismatic. And somehow that would heal that part of them that makes them lose their shit. Requires a warrant to be opened, a secondary warrant, not just we're searching your car. So I behaved very flirtatiously towards the officer and deterred his attention, calling me bad names or spitting on me. But
what kind of home did you grow up?
being a product of a drug addict generally means that some level of domestic violence exists within your household.
A moment of silence.
Just that I was fortunate enough to survive when so many women and even men just didn't.
K84 Podcast.
It's a vibe.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people, wherever you watching us from around the world. Welcome to another great episode on One-on-One on K84 Podcast with your host and friend, Kenna the Greatest. We've got truly a great guest to have a deep and insightful conversation on this episode. But before that, make sure to become part of the K84 family and community by go liking, following, sharing, and subscribing on all social media. Just search K84 Podcast and become part of our family. Stick around, the show kicks off right after this.
It's K84, turn up, it's official.
Alright, before we proceed to give you what you need, let me say this episode is partnered with Cabinet Ladies. And let me read from the Cabinet Ladies. Yeah, so if you want your kitchen, your bathroom, and your home remodeling, your kitchen cabinet, top, expert designs, and more, redesign any space in your home to your preferred and desired tastes, colors, and all of that, just get in touch with Cabinet Ladies on 918-995-4930. Let me say it again, 918-995-4930. If you live in James, Tulsa, Owasso, Oklahoma, anywhere in Oklahoma, or even if you're in Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, or wherever in America, just give them a call. Cabinet Ladies, they got you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, who is my guest for today? Nicole Martin, founder and CEO of Vogue and Virtue. She blends beauty with purpose. Mother of 4 beautiful sons, visionary and a survivor. She faced what no one should ever endure, the pain of domestic violence. Through courage, faith, and resilience, she transformed her struggle into strength, her wounds into wisdom. She's an advocate and a voice for those still finding theirs. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Nicole Martin on One-on-One on K84 Podcast. Hello, Miss Nicole. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing good.
Yeah. So how is life in general?
Oh, it's going better than it's ever been.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Miss Nicole Martin?
Well, I was born near Detroit, Michigan, shortly after I moved to Kansas as an infant. And then, for the most part, I was raised in Oklahoma.
Okay. So how is life in Oklahoma like? Is it good?
It's give and it's take. It's Oklahoma, you know what I mean?
Okay, Oklahoma for sure. All right, so tell us a little bit, you know what I mean, what motivated you to share your story with us today?
Just that I was fortunate enough to survive when so many women and even men just didn't.
Yeah. So when you look back, how would you describe the period of abuse? How did it all begin?
It began when I met a man at a party.
How old was she then?
I was 18 years old.
Yeah, doing the typical 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Party, have fun.
Yeah, party, have fun, live free.
So let's hear your story. You know what I mean? How did it all begin at the party?
So I met a man at a party who was selling illicit substances. And
What was that? What substances was that? If you could recall.
it was ecstasy.
Okay.
And at first I was a little bit rejective of him. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm scared of it. I've heard negative stories. And by the end of the night, he had convinced me to try it.
Oh. And you did it. How was the experience like for the first time?
It was very euphoric. I found myself like almost trauma dumping. I told him everything about my childhood and my upbringing up front. You know, there wasn't any question.
Yeah.
There was like no filter, I guess you'd say, with that type of drug. So I was very open.
Okay, so did your parents knew about that?
No, they did not.
So what kind of home did you grow up?
I was a product of addicts.
Oh.
And my mother was, for some time, a drug addict. Eventually, she accomplished the feat of beating addiction. But during that time, it's very strange because my childhood with my mother on drugs was not that traumatic, but...
So you saw her doing it? You
No,
saw her doing it? Or
no,
you never
no.
saw her? You never saw
No,
her day
I
in your life?
wasn't aware my mom was a drug user until we were removed and put into a hellhole of a place. I had my mother and I had my grandfather and we lived on the same property. So anytime my mom was out and about doing, I guess, what would have been drug use, I was with my grandfather who raised us quite well. So I didn't think much of it, you know? And then one day we were removed from her home and put into a family member's home and what they call kinship foster. And that's really where the nightmare began.
So how did you find out your mom was doing drugs?
Because DHS came and they told my mom that they were going to remove us because of her drug use. But they gave her the option to place us with family members if anyone was willing, or let us go into the regular foster care system where you're placed with non-relatives. And my mother, thinking it would be the best decision for us, chose the only relative that was available, my late great aunt.
Okay. All right. Going through all of this, where was your dad?
My dad was not around very much. Him and my mother somewhat came to agreement when I was around 6 months old that he wasn't quite ready to be a father. She definitely wanted to be a mother, but she didn't hold his unreadiness against him, if you will. So they came to the agreement that she'd move back home where our family is and have that support. He'd continue to live his life. The only catch being that if he ever wanted to do more, contact us. And, you know, throughout the years he did, and there were some good experiences and whatnot, and I don't hold it against him, but in the end, he definitely wasn't ready to be a father when I came into existence, and that affected him greatly.
Yeah.
And my mother, being a little bit wiser, took a step back and looked at someone she loved and was like, you're not where you need to be yet. You're not done. And I feel like, though I love you so much, the child we created somehow is stopping you from going where you need to go.
So, did your mom remarried?
No, she did not. She remained single.
So, you never saw a father figure in your life growing up in your home?
Well, I guess remain single wouldn't be truly accurate, because while I was an infant, there was a man she was with who was my little sister's father, who was definitely not a great role model from what I can remember in the later years when he wanted to come around and be involved in my sister's life.
Was he also a drug addict?
Oh, he still is.
Oh, is that-
Yeah, no, neither of us have contact with him because
I see.
it's not good. It's not healthy.
I see. So, take us back to when at the party, right? Where everything started.
Yeah.
How did that relationship grow from that first day at the party? To
From
you?
the night I took ecstasy with him, I was never apart from him again until I thought 27 years old, but then I ended up in the hospital and they informed me I was 28.
You ended up in the hospital?
Yeah.
How? What happened?
I got ill. I was just a flu or something. I was vomiting profusely and had a little bit of like backed up bowels and stuff. But when you check in, you give your birth date and your social security and your age. And on my paperwork, my birth date, my social security, and my age did not line up. So the nurses came to visit me and they're like, "Are you sure you're 27?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." But I didn't really stop to consider that in domestic violence situations, you don't often have a lot of like large birthday celebration per se. So I guess I kind of lost count. And they were like, "No, if you were really born in 1993, that would make you actually 28 years old."
Oh.
And it was a freaky moment because I didn't know how to explain what I just got out of or how I didn't know how old I was. But I was just like, "Okay, yes, ma'am. I'm 28.
So, what was your boyfriend at that time?
Oh, I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. Yeah, no, I was just me, and I was living in a domestic violence shelter. When I first left him, I spent most of my time with my best friend, Jazz, and she helped me, stay strong and keep on my feet until I found placement in a domestic violence shelter, DVIS in Tulsa. They changed my whole life. They taught me how to be stronger, how to be more self-reliant. It wasn't a forced thing either. It was like, you're here to heal. So if you volunteer to attend these seminars, you're welcome. But if you need to just rest, if you need to just be alone, that's okay too.
Okay.
And I really love that about that program because at first you kind of want to be all alone and then you slowly meet the other women there and you share your stories and you find yourself wanting to connect in the seminars. But the fact that it's not forced takes a lot of pressure off.
All right. So, can you describe what was happening in your relationship at the time?
When I met my ex-husband,
Yeah.
well, I met him, I tried ecstasy, and from that point, we were never apart again. I don't know how to explain it, except for the drug use continued for the next few weeks until I realized suddenly that we had never been apart, and it just continued that way. I was like, okay, well, you said you love me. I told you everything about me, and you still love me, so let's do this.
Do you think it was real love?
Oh, yeah, I was full sail convinced.
Wait, you were not, both of you were not in the right state of mind, right? You guys want some,
But when you're not in the right state of mind, you don't know you're not in the right state of mind.
So wait,
You can't.
how do you make the right decision if you're not in the right state of mind?
You don't. You make bad decisions
Yeah,
you
so that's what I'm
regret
saying.
later.
Yeah. So I'm saying
Yeah.
in that instances, right?
Yes.
You or did he
Boom.
make the right decision? Because you all was on like, hey, you like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, the fact that the man was at a party selling drugs should have been rule number one to avoid him.
So, was he beating you up? When you say domestic violence, right? Was he beating you up?
At first, it was very infrequent. It would be like occasionally like a shove, a push, a slap.
He
Calling
slapped
me,
you?
well, yeah, calling me bad names or spitting on me. But it would only happen like a few times a year. And so, and he was like...
What do you mean by a few times? A few could be 1, 2, 3. Would you count
like three, like almost like clockwork every few months. But he claimed he had post-traumatic stress disorder, which I don't dispute. He definitely does. But in my mind, it almost justified what he was doing to me because I felt like he was helpless to a trauma that was put on him before I even existed.
Oh, I see.
I had like a certain level of like empathy that hurt me in the end.
I see. So, in all this, for me, my upbringing is like, hey, man, you never raise your hand on a woman, right?
Yeah.
And then you going through this, wouldn't you, the first time he hit you, you'd be like, no, you can't hit me. You be like, this is it for me, but you still kept on going on with him. Why? And for what reason?
Being a product of a drug addict generally means that some level of domestic violence exists within your household.
Oh.
That would be my sister's father and one other man my mother dated throughout our childhood. But that was enough. And I also just loved him, and I saw what he really could have been, which was something absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, this man is so intelligent. He's bright. He's talented. He's charismatic. And that's towards everybody he knows, but somehow except the intimate partner he's with. And when you see those traits, at least from a woman's point of view, you tend to look at more of what he's could be or going to be rather than what he is right now. And you're like, he just doesn't see it yet. I need to show him.
Wait. Why do most females think they could change like a grown-up man to be like something for them? Because a person should come to you right.
Yeah.
If he or she don't come to you right, you can't change an adult. They have to be willing to change to be the best version of themselves. But if they're not willing to do that, what do you think? You can't change a person?
Well, looking now from where I am, I understand that. But at 18 years old, I saw him as very much kind of helpless to what was going around him, and like he just needed someone to be like, you're great, you're amazing, you could be so much more than a dude who sells ecstasy. You're so talented, you're skilled, you're intelligent, you're bright, you're charismatic. And somehow that would like heal that part of them that makes them lose their shit when they're challenged and hit you.
Okay. So, did you ever went to prison or jail involving with your ex? Because, you know what I mean, he's dealing with illegal, you know what I mean, stuff.
Thankfully, no. We did get pulled over once with a large quantity of illegal substances.
Hold on right there. At a moment in time that you saw the cops coming over or they pull you guys over, what went in your mind in that moment?
We're going to prison?
So how did you guys beat it?
Well, I was scared very shitless. But I knew that what it was packaged in a locked container, which requires a warrant to be opened, a secondary warrant, not just we're searching your car. But I didn't want him to notice the locked package. So I behaved very flirtatiously towards the officer and deterred his attention. And we got our little ticket for our illegal U-turn and rode off into the sunset.
So you saved the day. You saved the day. Because if you didn't do what you did, then meaning you guys would have been in jail.
I just had cleavage and he was a pervert.
Oh, how old was you then?
Maybe not even 19 yet, and the officer was like a gross old man, like 40-something.
Which state was that? Was it in Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah. No, that was right here in Broken Arrow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, Broken Arrow PD, shout out.
Say that again. Broken
Arrow PD, shout out.
They're coming for you.
They already tried.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? You guys got... At that point, didn't you had any, you know what I mean, mentor or like, you know what I mean, father figure in your life to kind of like, hey, bring you back to your right senses that, girl, you doing something wrong.
Oh, my grandfather would have... It's called an ugly stick. It's type of fishing pole. He would have whooped my ass with the ugly stick if he knew I was staying around that man after he put hands on me. He'd have brought me home so quick I wouldn't have even brought anything I owned with me. He'd have been like, I'll buy it all over again. We're done. He was there for me like a father, but he passed away from cancer when I was 14, and I did not listen to his very sound advice.
Yeah, so... How many kids did you guys had from, you know what I mean, your marriage and union?
4 children.
4?
Yes.
So, at which point in time did you feel, hey, I need to quit this whole thing or this whole lifestyle I'm involved? I got kids now.
2018 was the year I chose sobriety. It was the year I chose my children wholeheartedly, full sail. I was like, forget the drug life. I want nothing to do with it. But it wasn't till 2020, 2021-ish till I truly figured out how to tell somebody what was happening that had the ability to give me some help. Because there was a lot of shame involved. I wanted to almost pretend my life wasn't that. Like the selling drugs and stuff was long gone and we had transitioned into boring parenthood and stuff like that, but the abuse did not change.
So how did you master the courage or the confidence to be like, hey?
There was no courage. There was no confidence. It was fear.
You fear?
It was fear. One night during a bad fight, things went really too far. And I almost lost my life. And from that moment, I was like, I got to figure out something. I can't stay. I love him so much, but by God, he will put me in the ground and he won't even mean it. He'll hate himself for it once it's done. But in that moment, he could kill me.
Okay, so you mean you almost lost your life in that night. Tell me, can you draw us back to that particular night? What started the whole argument or the whole fight or the whole, you know what I mean?
I don't even remember exactly what started it. It was probably something to do with helping with the children. But I do know that I tried to run out the door because he told me to get out. And I opened the door, and at one point my hand was slammed in the door. And then I got my hand back in the house, and it hurt really bad. And I turned and went towards the TV, and I had 3 solid punches in the back of my head. And everything started ringing and buzzing, and I felt my knees hit the carpet, but like without resistance. So it like it hurt. It vibrated pain up my whole body, and I realized I was getting knocked out. And I said, for the life of me, I can't tell you where it came from. I said, white flag.
Was he abusing you in front of the kids?
Sometimes, especially when they were infants, but not intentionally. As they were older, both I and him would almost try and move them to their bedrooms when things were getting tense. Me, because I didn't want my kids to see me being abused. Him, because he didn't want his kids to see him as negative.
But if he knows or you guys knows, hey, this is not right, why do you guys keep on repeating the same cycle?
I didn't want to give up on my marriage. The divorce rate in my family is about non-existent. I can think of 2 out of every generation I can think of. So that's not really the average acceptable option in my family. And nobody wants to have to break up their home. And for him, I couldn't say other than my pleading to change, to therapy, to be real about how this is a problem just wasn't enough. He was more comfortable living how it was. He did whatever he wanted, and I didn't say much in my defense, or I'm going to get my butt kicked.
Okay. Was he also willing to go to therapy to change, or he wasn't?
We went to therapy one time. One time after our separation, and I walked out.
Oh, he didn't want to work on, the marriage?
I walked out because at the start of therapy, he instantly began to lie and direct our marital issues away from domestic violence. And that was it for me. That was the only thing I wanted to work on, is why do you beat me up anytime I won't say or do what you ask?
So was he working a job?
On and off here and there.
So how did you guys pay bills or take care of the kids?
Like I said, on and off here and there, he worked his jobs. He is a quite skilled person, so those jobs would pay out sometimes enough to last a few months, half a year.
I see.
He's not stupid by any means. That's why it was so hard to give up on him, because he wasn't just a total moron. He had absolute potential to every magnitude, but just denied himself.
So at the point you told him, hey, I wanted to quit this whole drug and this lifestyle we're living, and then be something better than that. What did he say?
At first he agreed. At first he was like, yeah, this isn't working. This isn't fun. I want to be better for the kids. And we were both very heavily on board with that.
Okay, so what happened again? Did he straight back to his old ways?
One day I was just washing clothes and I found a bag of pills in his pocket.
Did he still keep the same circle of friends? Because your circle of friends tells who and how you live your life. Because if you mingle with the wrong crowd, then you know exactly what happens.
We had done a portion of our life, of our marriage, in another state. So we created a whole set of friends that were absolutely worse than the original ones.
So which state, I wouldn't catch you, but which state did you, had your marriage?
We were married in Colorado.
Why Colorado?
Because we were living there at the time, because we wanted to move to a state where marijuana was legal, because we had quit doing all drugs except for marijuana, which is
Do you want a farm? Do you want to go have a farm there, a marijuana farm in Colorado, or what?
No, I wanted to exist within a place where I wouldn't be federally prosecuted for my medication.
Okay.
Yeah. And it turns out Colorado has a lot more of a drug problem than I originally realized. I guess they got their legal pot, but they took it a step further.
All right. So where is he now, and then what is he doing?
I have no idea.
So
there's a protective order in place at least for the next 5 years that I intend to renew just out of my personal general safety. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's slowly reorganizing his ducks so he can apply for the court to be a part of his children's life again.
So why do you put a protective order on him? Was he beating you up, still beating you up, hitting you left, right, center? Or why did you put a protective order on him?
Because, yeah. He was beating me up left, right, and center. And then when I got the strength to leave, he tormented me mentally in every way possible.
So, at what point did you decide I don't want this marriage no more?
The night that I was struck in the head 3 times and I began vomiting and begging to go to the hospital, and I even asked that he put me next to the dumpster and I would say that I got jumped. But he wouldn't believe me that I would keep that story straight for the hospital. So he took my clothes off and he put me in the bathtub. And he turned the shower on and just occasionally rinsed the vomit off me as I puked throughout the night.
Did you call the cops?
How?
He was beating you up?
With what phone? You're not allowed to have that. He takes that.
Really?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you dare to use your phone to call 911, you might as well just accept that it's about to be absolutely destroyed. You don't own one anymore.
Wait. Was you working at a job then?
No, I never even had my first ID till I was 28 years old.
Why?
Because when I met him, I hadn't got it yet. And then after we got together, I was just a housewife. I didn't need it. I belonged at home. His words, not mine.
So, where was your mom during all this period? And then you had conversations with her?
There were times to where me and my mom talked about the abuse. But there were also times, especially when I lived out of Oklahoma, to where we went months without connection, and she would contact my husband and be like, "Let me talk to my daughter now or I'm reporting her missing." And he would shove the phone in my face and be like, "Say hi to your mom."
That's crazy. What type of love did you have for such a person to still stay and stick it through with person beating you up, abusing you, all sort of things? What type of love did you have for such a person?
I don't know if it was love anymore. I think it was weakness. I was weak. I allowed him to weaken me. He found someone who was confident and who was bright and vibrant, and instead of celebrating that like a normal spouse would, he wanted to encompass it and swallow it, make it disappear and make it his own. It only exists within his realm.
In the course of your relationship, right, your marriage, did you ever lie to save him?
More times than I can count. It's funny because he would lie to make people not like me, and I'd lie to make people like him.
Really?
I mean, you gotta explain the bruises somehow.
I see.
I even once straight up told his mother, she was like, "Is my son doing this to you?" I was like, "No, I fell down." Eventually, she found out the truth and covered for her son, but it was interesting that in the beginning, she wanted to know whether or not it was him that was busting me up.
So when you decided to, put a stop to all this, who was the first person you talked to?
The woman my husband was cheating on me with.
How?
She contacted me for one of those, hey girl messages to let me know, she'd been my man. And I let her know that everybody fucks my man. I don't fuck my man because everyone fucks my man. And then I wasn't mad at her, but he's a woman beater, and I'd like to leave if she's got any ideas. She came and picked me up.
Oh.
Yep. Me and his mistress rode off into the sunset.
So it's so funny. The lady.
Now it's funny. I mean,
lady he was cheating with got in touch with you. Be like, hey, you know what? this is a situation.
She tried to break it off with him, and he threatened her that if she didn't let him keep having sex with her, that he would tell me, and I was like gonna do something. And I was like, girl, you're riding the doorknob. Everybody had a turn. I don't care. There's a reason I don't touch him. But he does like to whoop me up if you know how to get out of here.
Oh.
And she was like, gotcha, babe, on my way. She a real one.
All right.
Mad respect for her forever.
So, how was she providing for the kids when, you know what I mean, you decided to get out of the marriage? Since he was a provider?
I got a job at Cloud Chasers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Cloud Chasers Tulsa. They about helping people get back on their feet.
That's great. That's great. So, you know what I mean? This cycle or this life that you went through, when you sit and reflect in your life, did you want the same cycle to repeat, you know what I mean, in your kids? Because you grew up, it was a system or it was a household you grew up from, and then you end up repeating that same thing.
I almost failed completely. Like, literally, I almost fell into, like, an identical cycle. And I am thankful that shit hit the fan when it did, that I realized it was an unworkable process, because I almost fumbled the whole bag, the only thing that mattered, which was motherhood.
So, tell me this, right? What made you think, or what made you come to the realization that, hey, let me stand up and be a voice for men and women, you know what I mean, going through domestic violence?
Because there are so many people less fortunate than I, and they live at the graveyard. They didn't make it out. They didn't get that option. They never had that before it was way too late. Their families let balloons go, purple ones, on their birthday. And I'm living, I'm breathing. My children are safe. What am I here for if not to be a voice for the other people that are still in it, that are not dead, but they're dying. And they need to go now. Because it doesn't get better. It doesn't change. There's no miraculous recovery in any man or woman who gains enjoyment from causing you harm, whether it be calling you names, throwing things at you, hitting you, spitting on you, taking control of your finances, contacting your family and telling them things that aren't true about you. Like, the realm is so large, but it doesn't change. You just gotta dip. You gotta leave. You gotta realize that they have a hold on you that is almost like a witchcraft. That trauma bond is something. But it isn't worth you being lowered down while your parents hug your casket and beg for you back. Not worth it. And there is real love out there available to you that will respect you, value you, see what is unique and important about you, embrace you, and work with you as a whole no matter what you've been through, and be like, I still think you are the literal fucking moon in the sky.
Okay. So where's your mom now?
At my house.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It's family tradition.
That's great. So your mom is helping you, you know what I mean, with the kids, you know what I mean, day in,
She
day.
does watch after them sometimes. She didn't have me till she was later in life, so she's a little older. So it's definitely a vice versa. She enjoys spending time and getting extra time with her grandchildren, but it's also nice to keep an eye on her too. There was a particular incident where she fell, and it took her about 3 hours to reach the phone because she couldn't stand back up. She had hurt her hip. And that was like a horrifying thought, considering where I grew up and how far remote in the woods it is and stuff, and that life flight is a 45-minute away thing. that I'm like, I need you closer to me, but I'm not willing to go back to the woods. So you're going to have to meet me in the middle.
Yeah. All right. So how do you handle stress, depression, and anxieties?
I pray. I use logic. And logic is being that, you use the points in life that you know are true regardless of emotion. Like, no matter how bad you're feeling, were you capable of paying your bills this month? No matter how tough the week was, did you still make it through with your job intact? You really got to hold on to those things. Did your kids smile when they ran at you off the bus today? Because that is what you're going to think about when you gasp for that last breath.
Right, tell me this, right? I see you doing a lot of work with people, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of the challenges those people you're working with now, you know what I mean, they encounter or they come to you, be like, hey, I'm going through this. How can I overcome it?
Trauma bond. With domestic violence, it is the trauma bond. It is that horrible incident followed by that love bombing, followed by that horrible incident that leaves them hanging on to this shred of hope that the person that loves them so dearly, but that has broke them so much, is gonna one day wake up and see, no matter what I did, they stuck by me, and like there's gonna be a value set to that. To that effort, like, oh, they saw me through the worst time of my life. I love them so much. It's not real. It's not going to happen. He's never going to wake up and be like, oh, I love how I kicked you across the apartment and you never left me. Oh, I love how she smashed those plates on me, but I never left her side. No. That's Delulu.
I see. Right, so how, you know what I mean, how do you put yourself in place of a young girl growing up now?
Oh, that is so tough because, oh my goodness. Every young girl just wants to find her place in the world, and usually that place involves a partner. And when it comes to picking a partner, I almost want to say, like, slow down. Get your education. Become over the age of 25 so your brain is actually fully developed before you marry and have children. Because you'll make mistakes like I did. You'll mistake literal abuse for love because they say they're sorry and give you a kiss sometimes. Like, you'll give up opportunities to go to college for someone who isn't even your partner in 2 years. Focus on you. And a man who really loves you is going to love that you're focusing on you because he's focusing on him. And then together at the right time, you're going to become like a supernova fucking power couple. But if he ain't worked on him and you ain't worked on you and you're not full circle with your own selves, there's a larger chance that those type of problems will come to play. Though some people beat all the odds and, they're like that perfect love story, we got to be real with the rest of the masses. It may not be that way for you. It ain't nothing wrong with you, but keep your standards high because eventually you'll find the right person. Just don't settle too soon.
So what inspired you to start your own business, Vogue and Virtue?
I would say, one, that I love fashion. I love design. I love dressing people. I love helping people build off their own unique style in the most suitable form for their own figure. As you know, we're literally, everybody's unique. There's not anyone's whose dimensions are exactly the same. So that's fashion. No one's fashion dimensions are exactly the same. And then you come to the second portion of you're helping build someone's self-esteem. You're helping someone look in the mirror and be like, I would have never picked this off the shelf, but I'm in love. I'm in love. I want to wear it all the time. And that brings like a joy to my heart. And then there's also the fact that in this economy, if you would like to get ahead, you better start a business. Because working for someone else ain't the way. I mean, unless you find a very lucky and fortunate position,
Right.
you're just going to get by, but you're never going to get ahead.
So, how is the business going so far?
It's going great. It's going great. I've enjoyed it a lot. I've worked with a few very special clients that are really dear to my heart. I love working for people that contribute to the heart of Tulsa, if you will. You know, and it's like Vogue and Virtue is both private and public, meaning that if you choose to style with me, I'm not going to require you post me publicly.
Why?
Because whose business is it where you got your outfit or how?
No, but when they post you, you get more clients. It leads to more, you know what I mean?
Yes, but not everyone feels comfortable being like, I'm not it with fashion, I don't really get it, and so I paid someone else to set up my wardrobe. And that's cool, that's not their business. You don't have to share that.
No,
You paid me, so
the
what more
you
do I need from you?
The more people, you know what I mean, put you out there, the more helps the business or the brand to grow.
And that's why it's an opportunity, is because, you know, should they choose, that's excellent. I love it. I love it. But should you want to stay private and just tell your friends about the lady who will come redo your closet and nobody has to know? I'm okay with that too.
Oh, I see that. So how do you see the business in the next 10 years?
I see it definitely growing. I'd like to include more stylists in the future. I would like to see it become both mobile and virtual, meaning I could work outside of the local area. You know, I'd like to be able to go virtual with people outside of Oklahoma and even go through the closets of clothes they already own and show them different ways to pair. And to mix and match and to build off that and do everything from name brand stores to, for instance, I've never had the opportunity to go in a thrift store and help someone style. I would love that. That seems amazing.
So are you planning, you know what I mean, to hit the wrong way?
I mean, me personally, no, but I'm trying to send my ladies there, yes.
Okay, yeah. So which runway do you have in mind? Is it the Paris, you know what I mean?
Mulan,
Fashion
sure.
Week?
Mulan.
Or Italy, okay. I see.
That's where my favorite brands lived.
So which celebrity would you want to style if you had, you know what I mean, the chance?
Ooh, that is so tough.
You have a lot.
Yes.
Yes, say them. You might never know.
I would love to try my hand at Billie Eilish. I feel like she's lived her certain trend for so long. She's got to mix it up. I could help with that. I also adore what Kylie Jenner has done in the past. But I'm like, I see you trying to revamp right now, but you're not matching your age. You can't be 16 anymore, baby. I would love to help her. Ryan Reynolds took a big hit to his social status lately. His wife totaled that shit. So he could use a revamp on not only public image, but probably also his wardrobe because those khakis require fire.
Okay. So in the world of fashion, what makes you or what makes your style different from others?
Well, it's not copy and paste. It's suited to the person because in general, style isn't copy and paste. We kind of got that in our minds by fast fashion and mass production. But really, when we go back to the roots of what looks really captivated the nation before even Vogue existed, it's the individuality of the person's personality. It's what prints and color blends stand out to them, and they're like, what can I do with this? How can I shape this? What would this look draped this way? And so individuality is just A1. I mean, nobody's the same, so why should we try?
All right. So are you planning in the future to take the business away from Oklahoma to a more bigger state?
Yes, but that would be through like first I would say probably virtually, and then maybe I would have to look in some licensure to employ people in other states. But virtually would be a great start.
So which state do you have in mind?
Any of them, I love them all.
Yeah, I mean, so let's
Obviously, New York and California have the fashion,
Oh,
but I'm a dressing mama in Montana every day.
okay.
She gonna be the hottest lady in the pickup line.
All right. Let's touch on this real quick, right? Do you plan in the future having your own like brand as in clothing, like, you know what I mean, Gucci, Louis, you know, I'm having, you know what I mean, some form of like
That
apparel or
would
something?
be the absolute dream. I spent my whole childhood sketching dresses and shirts and pants and on different silhouettes and stuff like that. That would definitely be the dream. If I had been born like silver spoon status, I would have went to Italy as soon as I graduated high school.
No.
Learn fashion instantly. But realistically, I would just love being a full-time stylist with a full staff who like gets to get into it and get into the clothing on every level from Gucci to the thrift store. Because let's not pretend that there aren't those $1 million finds on the racks in those thrift stores.
Yeah.
And that incorporated with a Gucci could be like Rihanna status look. It's just got to be done right.
Okay.
I love how she's freed the pregnant belly. I'm like, yes, put that baby on display.
It was really nice having you on this episode. And I'm proud how you've been able to, you know what I mean, build yourself up from, you know what I mean, the mat all the way up. And then, hey, your last words to a young lady or a young, you know what I mean, male or man going through domestic violence, that they don't have a voice. That's your camera over there.
Domestic violence does not have a gender. It has a personality type. And once you see that personality type, don't question yourself. Don't double guess it. Don't wait a moment. Leave. 211. That will locate your local resources. DVIS in Tulsa. That is where you will find your housing from. Contact them. They accept men and women. But the first step is literally not even a step. Jump, leap, run. Because in the end, you'll never regret leaving someone who beat you up. But you'll regret staying. You might even die.
Thank you, Miss Nicole Martin. Thank you guys for staying through this lovely episode. It was deep. It was deep. You know what I mean? So, hey, I've been your host, Kenna the Greatest, and I gotta say, I gotta say this episode was partnered with the Cabinet Ladies for your kitchen. For your kitchen, bathroom, and home remodeling, kitchen cabinet tops, expert designs, and more. Redesign any space in your home to feel your preferred style, colors, design, wherever you want. They got you. So get in touch with Cabinet Ladies on 918-995-4930. 918-995-4930. If you live in James, Tulsa, Owasso, Oklahoma, anywhere, yeah, 918 for life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cabinet Ladies got you covered. They got you sorted. You know what I mean? I've been your host once again. And let me tell you this, if you've not subscribed or be part of our community, do it. Just grab your phone, right? Go to all the social media platforms and then search K84 Podcast. And here we go. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell another friend. This is K84 Podcast.
It's KK official.